Hey guys, and welcome to another bankruptcy update. So for this, we're going to be talking about the Voyager update because quite a few different things have actually come on up. I even had a Reddit post up there too as well talking about something with Ethos, where Ethos does seem like it's trying to do something with the VGX holders as well as just Voyager creditors. That might just be, I think, all of us. And as well, we also have some very intriguing information in regards to what FTX is planning on doing in terms of signups, in terms of money, in terms of allocation, and also in terms of pretty much getting rid of the VGX token too as well. And the fact that some folks actually in very unlucky situations actually might be being liquidated to as well. We're also going to talk about the recovery amounts that are presumed through this whole deal and a few other various things too as well. So if you guys do enjoy this type of stuff, we have been trying to be on top of Voyager and Celsius, so subscribe if you guys would like to, and let's dive on into it. So very first and foremost, really quickly, I did see this post about like yesterday or so with Ethos, where Ethos actually made a statement over here talking about how the coming launch of Ethos 2.0 is coming, and I thought it was actually kind of a cool, nifty idea over here, where they have, well, the 2.0 coming out over here, and they do specifically state creditors and VGX holders in mind. Now, for full-on context with this, I actually am a VGX holder on the actual platform itself. I have more of my money on Celsius, but I also do have a little bit of VGX as well as also USDC and Bitcoin on Voyager itself. So while I'm also kind of happy that this deal is progressing, and I know a lot of folks are probably just ready to be done with this and move on with this and all of that, but as well, part two, I do think a lot of folks as well also kind of sad about VGX, the shareholders, and as well just not having a really good plan for the VGX as well. Typically, a lot of folks who have held it and held the VGX are people who believed in the platform more. I know I myself, I mean, you guys can always give your own opinions, but I myself was kind of hyped up for Voyager, and I thought I had a good long-term plan, although sadly, it kind of simply just completely gave up on the VGX. So very intrigued on what Ethos is going to be doing as well. They also were, I think, involved with Voyager beforehand, too. So if anything, I kind of trust them just from whatever they have planned on coming up in the next, I guess, month or so. So kind of big news when it comes to that. But as well, we also did go and see a few different bigger statements over here, too, which I'm pretty hyped up for. When it comes to the dates in terms of information, I'm not necessarily hyped up as in like I'm excited, but hyped up that we're finally making next steps in this whole process. It's been dreadful, especially on the Celsius side. It's been awful, and I hate dealing with it. So the first bad news with this, and I think a lot of folks who are VGX holders are upset with this, myself included, is that with Voyager's agreement with FTX, VGX token is officially dead. So FTX is purchasing all the assets except for VGX, VGX US, and that's kind of an important part to note, is that's on the US exchange, will not be assuming Voyager's obligations related to VGX, but has offered to purchase all VGX in the debtor's estate for a purchase price of $10 million. So I'm a random guy on the internet, so my opinion is kind of various. You give me your thoughts and comments down below. When it comes to this, it does go and show that some of the assets, and let me try to make these bigger for you guys, it does go and show that some of these assets are actually not supported on FTX US. So, as you guys can see, if you have, let's say, XRP, you'll be getting US dollars. HBAR, BAN, VGX2 as well, Track, and Gala, all these coins you'll be getting US dollars. Now, as well, when it comes to other stuff such as BTC, ETH, DAI, Doge, Algo, and Link, these are all supported by FTX US. So, and what it kind of has, they also have the price set at $20,000 for Bitcoin, Ethereum at $1,131, and then DAI at $1. So it does kind of seem like they're illustrated. These are all rough. It does seem like the expected range is around 69 to 72%, which in all honesty is not the worst. Granted, no one wants to lose money. Do not get me wrong. But I think it could have been a lot worse so far. I think right now, whole knot is at like a 25% total, like a 75% haircut, 25 or 30% crypto recovery. So you want to know what? At least that's better at the end of the day. So we do have this all floating around with this. It does look like they have a 70% sitting around right here with this. So you guys can kind of see, I do believe you have to be able to go and mitigate this over here for FTX US as well. So it's not the world's worst recovery rate for normal users. Like I said, I'm a mixture of a VGX and normal user. But as well, this will all be liquidated too. And the VGX holders really did, I think, get the world's worst position with it. It does make sense on a business sense, because why would FTX really want that? Understandable. It's also coming from a bankrupt company, although that's why a lot of folks want to push for equity or have FTX do something with the Voyager platform, because you can maybe either just like keep the VGX tokens and like maybe do like a weird creditor takeover and do something with that with the equity as well, because it is a lot of VGX holders and there's also a lot of hardcore supporters of Voyager who are also just getting, well, screwed over. So while they do have a illustrative crypto recovery at 70% in terms of assets, it'll actually be a lot lower because they're only giving out, like I said, around $10 million allocated for all the FTX holders. But that leads into a part 2 where no one really knows what the Voyager, like their, I guess, like war chest, as well as also the users and how that's going to be allocated, who's going to be getting the profit, and how it's going to be split. But I do really think that VGX token is worth a lot more than $10 million, and that's kind of a bad insult. And a lot of folks that are VGX holders are very upset with it. So that's kind of why I'm very intrigued on the Ethos idea, mainly because we've seen a few spaces with them and a few promotions over here, kind of giving, like, I guess, a little extra hopium for all these users out there. So hopefully Ethos can do something pretty good out there for the community. Now, a few things to note. A lot of this money, too, as well, is also, they have a really big fund, too, for like quite a few millions of dollars allocated for the $50 account credit if you guys go and sign up with it. So as you guys can see, it is anticipated that all Voyager customers will be transitioning to FTX US. In the event that a customer is not successfully transitioned to FTX US, such customer will not be eligible for the $50 account credit, as discussed below, and will not receive the transferred cryptocurrency value in kind. Instead, such holder will receive a cash distribution from the debtor's estate, as when such distributions are made pertinent to the bankruptcy code. So basically, if you guys just not want to make an FTX account as well, or maybe you guys are European for some odd reason, I know like KYC may affect that, basically you'd just be getting, or if you guys had a lot of other coins too as well that are not on this, you'd be more so just getting a pure US dollar liquidation type sent on out to all of you guys. So there is a somewhat ratio with it, as you guys can kind of see through some of these documents as well. We can see some of these crypto values recovered around the 70%. Other value recovered on other recovery is around a 2%, and they keep on pushing for maybe a 72% total, with basically a 13 as using as that reference to as well. So it's kind of a mediocre deal, but at the same time, it's kind of torn. Some folks just want to be done and get out of it and get a little bit of their money back. Some folks want to maybe go for the longer term and try to push equity, or at least have something better for a VGX. So I could definitely understand the split as well. I have a little bit of assets on both sides, so I guess I'm not really sure what their plans are. I'm assuming this is going to go through, and that's maybe why a lot of folks might just be mitigating more so over to Ethos, because it does seem like they're having some cool stuff coming up in these next few months. But as you guys can kind of see, it kind of seems around the 70%, give or take, is the recovery assets that we're expecting for anyone who might out there, and plus also maybe additional amount as well for the $50 creditor too, and a lot less if you guys are VGX holders. That ratio will be split between the $10 million floating around. So we saw quite a few of these different things in general. It's very, very intriguing to see this. It's very, very intriguing to see this too as well. So give me your thoughts. Like, I kind of hope that we can have a better VGX solution, or as I mentioned, maybe Ethos has something more in mind, but I kind of wish we could have more of an equity push, or them also maybe keeping Voyager as a platform and trying to just go and use it, because why not? It's there. But at the same time, too, a 70 to 72% of recovery rate to get this whole nightmare over with, I think some folks, myself included, might just go and be okay with that as well. But I kind of wish they would have pushed a little bit more, and I would like to see more, especially because all the VGX holders are definitely, well, kind of forgotten about, and that's really not cool. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. Subscribe if you guys want to. We'll have more updates as well on the channel in case you guys want to subscribe.